साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरकृष्णे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता ददोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 19, beginning from verse number 19. So this is continuation of the story of Punshavan Vrata, which was given by Kashyapa to his wife Diti, who had a son. And now Sukadeva Goswami is explaining the details, how it has to be followed. So he described how the worship of Lakshmi Narayana has to be performed. They offered food, puja, prayers. And then he said that both husband and wife, they have to cooperate in this. Wife is the main person actually involved in the puja. But husband has to support her. It was said here that whatever big or small activities need to be done to help her, he should do that. And when she is unable to do for whatever reason, for sake of something, husband has to cover for her. So this is called cooperation. So now he says that Vishnor vratamidam bibhran navihanyat kathanchana vipran striyo veeravatihi saggandhavali mandanaihi achedharhar bhaktya deve niyamamastitaha. So he says that once you start the vrata, then it should be continued without break. Then you start it or you don't, then you don't stop once you start.
What's the vrata?
Vrata is the
vow.
vow.
The word. Vow.
The spiritual practice. which we have been reading, that is called Vrata. It's to observe certain rules. So he says that once you start, then it must be continued. Otherwise don't start it. So it says, Vaishnavar Vratam idam vidram ne vihanyat kathanchana. And Viprans Priya Virvati Sagganthan Balimandani Achera Dharmakya. So the wife is called here as Viravati. Viravati is the word used for wife who has husband alive. She is not a widow. And every day she should worship Brahmanas with garland, sandalwood, some offering, etc. And also she should worship other women. She has to also worship women, and these women who are worshipped, they are actually called Virvati. I have not seen them. This is second level Virvati. So she has to also worship women herself. And then she has to worship Lord Vishnu. So only one comment that Navihanyat Navi Vichidyasya Chindyat. Don't break it halfway.
Babaji, which women? Women around in the village? Oh.
Yeah, any other woman. But only condition is that the woman should not be a widow. She should have a husband.
And if she's not married yet?
That is called Kanya spinster. She is specifically married woman.
Okay.
And not boyfriend, girlfriend type. But actually married. Because you have to get the blessing. Get a son. Saudvasya devam svedhamni tanniveditam agritaha adyat atma shuddhyartham sarvakam ardhaye tatha. So he said that after that the Deva is Udvasya. Remember there was Avan inviting, and now Udvasya means putting him back. Tan Dhamni in his own abode. And Tan Niveditam Agrata Adyat Atma Vishuddhiyartham Sarvakam Ardhayeta. And what was offered to the Lord, then she should eat this, both of them, for the purification of the mind. So means you have to take prasad. No, not going to the chai shop and having tea. That's not allowed. That will break the vrata. So you have to only take prasad of Lord Vishnu, because only that will purify. The tea from the tea shop pollutes.
But is it possible to offer it before drinking?
Still it will pollute.
It's because it's tea or because it comes from a tea shop?
Because it comes from tea shop.
And we don't know how it's made.
You have to cook yourself, because the consciousness of the person who cooks,
We don't know.
that also goes into the food. And if you want purity of thought, you cook yourself. Purity of thought and everything. Otherwise you are getting the consciousness of the tea wala, the chai guy. And chai guy consciousness is in the business. He does not have consciousness. So that's the consciousness you will get by drinking it. So that's why a good sadhaka does not eat in restaurants, outside in shops, on the road. These are not symptoms of a good sadhaka. So previously in India, therefore you don't hear, say 50 years ago or 100 years ago, you will not find restaurants in India. They did not exist because nobody will go to them. Maybe some places were there in big cities, but place like Vrindavan, forget that there was a restaurant here. People will not even think of it. And if somebody started it, it will be interesting to do a research which was the first restaurant started in Vrindavan. Good job for him. He liked history. How the first restaurant came. Maybe Bihari shop. Lassi. It started with chai shop, then lassi, sweet shop, slowly, then samosa came, then pakoda, then puri sabji. That's how it came. It didn't come immediately like a restaurant. People will not eat. Even the pilgrims who are coming, they will make their own food. In the olden days I've seen. They will cook their own food. They will not eat outside.
You still see like that.
Right? You still see many pilgrims like that.
But if it would be a restaurant like a restaurant from ISKCON or like this,
So that still it is a restaurant.
still.
And somebody like ISKCON would not run a restaurant in those days. Then they will not think of running a restaurant.
They might have a kshetra.
There will be a kshetra where they distribute free food. Right? Still there are kshetras, anna kshetra, where free food is given. Sadhus go, but that food is offered. It is cooked. Brahmanas will cook it.
Maybe it came with foreigners, and then Indians also came.
Yes. Well, previously also I have seen that there, when people used to travel, so what they had was sarai. Like if you go to Delhi, you find some places which are called like Kalu Sarai, Katwadia Sarai, maybe Sheikh Sarai. This word sarai actually is an Arabic word. The Muslims were ruling. So sarai was something like a hotel or restaurant. But people, there was no food or restaurant. People who will go and stay there, they will make their own food. So this was system. So like I remember from the village, if we went for some pilgrimage, like one very common thing was going for Ganga Snan, for a bath in Ganga river. So you go there and there are some dharamshalas, you go in, there are rooms, but then you used to carry your own stuff with you, or you buy atta, wheat flour, vegetables there, and then you cook it yourself. This is system. So there are many people in India who they were called swapakis. Means they will eat food only which they cook themselves. Even in their house, there are brahmanas, they will cook themselves. They will not eat food cooked in their life. So wherever they travel, and just like yesterday, this teacher who comes sometimes, teach me how to recite the Bhagavatam sloka. So he goes here and there. He went to Delhi now to teach somebody. So he said, I was cooking my own food. He said, I cannot eat your food. So he says, please God save me. He was saying like this, God save me that I don't have to eat somebody's food.
But there is no way we can, by our thoughts before eating, purify it a little bit.
That is called vikalpa. That is an optional thing. You can do that. But this is the pure thing. Especially if you are following the vrata, then such things are not allowed at all. So in the olden days when they used to do yajna, and some yajnas will last for a few days, some were lasting for 1 year. So the yajman, the host, he has to take a diksha from the priest. That's why they tie this thread. You might have seen that in India, they do religious ceremony, they tie this. The meaning of that thread is that now you are initiated for that particular ceremony. And then there are certain rules which you have to follow as long as the ceremony is completed. So not eating these types of things, not telling lies, not sleeping at odd hours. There are many rules. Which one is expected? That is the idea. This is just like a reminder. That's in your hand, so you know that, okay, I'm bound by certain rules. That's why it is called bandhan. And besides, he actually recites a mantra. So Rakshetvam Badhanami Machala Machala, that I am binding you, don't move, don't move. So the idea is that you actually, the person should not move from the walls. Yena baddho bali raja. The mantra. Danvendro Mahabali. Says Bali was the grandson of Prahlad. And Lord Vamanadeva went, and Bali was performing a yajna at that time. So when he came, he was a very beautiful child, Brahmachari, small. There was little umbrella, everybody, very effulgent, everybody, immediately their attention was caught. So Bali also saw and said, yes, what can I do for you? So he said, well, I need something. So he said, ask anything. So he said, no, you first give me the words. So he says, I'm Bali. Like I'm Bill Gates. So when Bill Gates came to India, he gave, I think, some $1 billion for some project. So they said he's the Kali Bali. He's the Bali of Kali. So they changed Bill into Bali. So Indians are good at changing names. So anyway, that he has to actually take a vow that yes, he took water in his hand. He took a vow that yes, I give you. So that is called Bandhan. So therefore till today the mantra actually starts with that. Yena baddho bali raja danu indra tena baddhanam rakshay machala machala. So that is Vrata, one has to follow these rules, and that is what we will describe. So this is what purifies the mind, because it's all a matter of samskaras. After all, we have mind. Mind says, let's go for a chai. We say, okay, let's go for a chai. So your chai samskara is disturbing you. So when you have a vrata, by vrata you can control the mind. Otherwise, if the desire comes for a chai and you are free, there's nothing else to stop you. But if you have this thread around your hand, then you say, well, I'm not supposed to. Today is Ekadasi. Today's Ekadasi, it's not a big deal that you don't have to make very effort for fasting and doing so. You just fix, okay, Ekadasi we don't eat. But if on the other day you have to do that, it will be difficult because you have not fixed your mind. So therefore, vratas are practiced to control mind. Otherwise, it's difficult. Mind is always desires.
But in our daily life, I think it's nearly, at least in Europe, impossible to follow these things.
Yes.
You think it's possible?
I think it's possible. For some it is possible. But for most, yes, it is difficult.
But you don't think the mind, if we think something is bad, it becomes bad. But if we think, we put positivity in one thing, and like thinking, okay, this person cooked, she did her best.
If you have a mind like this, that is okay. But most people don't have strong mind like that. Their minds are already weak. And they can't put that much energy. If you have a strong mind, yes, you can do that. But as I'm saying, that most people's mind are not strong like that. So that's why they will not do it, or if they do it, they will just do it hurriedly so that I can eat it. Your mind is already thinking to taste the food and not thinking of purifying or sanctifying it. That is the weakness of the mind. So what is the problem?
It's just that same problem I had with traffic classes. Won't go to that page. Won't go to that other page.
We will start.
The whole thing.
Alright. Etena puja vidhina masan dvadasayanam nitvata pucharet sadhi kartike charme hani. So in this way one has to complete this vrata, this puja vidhi, the process of worship, for 12 months, for 1 year. Ayanam. And nitvat upcharet sadhu. Then you have to complete the vrata. It's called Parana Udyapana. So the ending of Vrata also has to be done properly. So when you follow the year, there is a way to end it. It's called Udyapana. So that has to be done in Kartik, Charmayani, on the last day of Kartik. Because you started on Agrahana, at the beginning of the year, and then Kartik is the last month. So it ends. So on the last day of the year, then the Udyapana has to be performed. Agrata iti lavlata panchmaya charmani paurnamasya. So last day, either it will be Paurnamasi or it will be Amavasya, depending on whether one begins the month from Paurnamasi or from Amavasya. So it's not supposed to say Charmani Paurnamasi. It means according to me, the month starts from the first of after the full moon. Next day after the full moon. That is the beginning of month. That's what we follow here.
Vamshidhar says that.
He says?
Vamshidhar is also saying that you have to take this as being after the full moon.
Yeah. But that's the end of month. Swabhutaya upasprisya Krishnam abhyarcha purvyat Vayashatena juyat charuna sahasra pisha Pakayagya vidhanena dvadaseva huti pati. So what is to be done that in the morning one has to first do the cleaning, bathing, and then do Achmana, Upasprisya, and then Krishnam Abhyarcha, and worship Krishna as the process saying which was described before. And then one has to make sweet rice with cow's milk. So Payashritena Juyat Charuna Sahasraprisha. And then you have to perform a yagya along with ghee and the sweet rice. This has to be offered. There are 12 offerings. Dvadaseva ahuti pati. So this is done with the husband. Wife will also be there, of course, but husband will make the offering into the fire. Swabhuta prabhate sati. Swabhuta means morning. It means the next day. Sritena pakvena pakayagya vidhanena parvana sthali pakavidhanena. So there is a process how the offering has to be done. That is called Paravadi. And then Ashish says Saada Vijay Pritai Samiditaha Pranamya Shabhaktya Bhanjita Tadanugya. Then one has to take the blessings of the Dujas, the Brahmanas, Pritai Samidita, given by them with love and affection. And then bowing down with hand devotion, one should eat this with their permission. So that charu, which is remaining, that has to be eaten. Sesam suprajastvam, suprajastvakaram, sushabham, sushabhakaram cha. Next verse. Acharyamagrita kritva vagyata sa bandhubi Dadyad patnai charoshesham suprajastam susabham. So first Acharya has to be given, and then along with the relatives one eats this. And Vagyata means no chit chat. You have to sit down and eat quietly. And Dadyad patnai charoshesham, and the remnants are given to the wife. And suprajastvam susabham, which will give good progeny and good fortune. So Vishnu Chakravarti says that Sesam Suprajastvam Suprajastva Karam, that which will bring good progeny, Sushobhanam Sushobhakaram Cha, which will bring good fortune. Yadva Tatastasya Suprajastvam Syat iti Vakyanta. One is a separate statement that this will bring a good progeny. So this is actually now Vrata, and rest is just the benefit which one can get from this. Etat charitva vidivat vratam vibhor abhipsutartham lavate pumaniha stritvedeta adhas tuetadasthaya labhet savanam svim prajam jivapatim yashobriham. So they say that by following this vrata, the person will achieve whatever is desirable. Adhipsutartham lavate pumaniha. So what he desires, then you will get that. If a woman follows this vrata, then she will get good fortune, wealth, progeny, fame, house, and the husband will have long life. And kanya cha vindeta samagra lakshanam varam kavira hatakil visadatam mritat praja jiva sudha dhaneshwari subhurbhaga subhada rupamagdam. And if a spinster follows this vrata, then she will get a good husband with all good characteristics. That's good fortune, right? Nice husband. And if some woman has money, but is not having good fortune, means the life is not running well. Dhaneshwari Subhurbaga Subhaga Rupamagga. Then she will have good fortune. And if somebody is not very beautiful, she will become beautiful. No plastic surgery needed. Without that. And if someone is sick, then he will have good health. And someone will have strong body. So, Vindayat virupa viruja vimuchyate yam amayavi indriya kalpatehi etat pathanna bhidye cha karmani tam devtana. And one who reads this story during the Shraddha, which is worship of forefathers, then the forefathers and the gods, they get completely satisfied. Karmani ananta tapti pitri devatana. So they get fully satisfied. And tushtaha prayachanti samasta kaman homavasame hut svi harishya rajan mahan marutam dhanutam dite vratam chahitam. So all these people, they become satisfied. The devatas, the devas, gods, and the forefathers, and therefore they will fulfill all the desire. The person who is performing. And not only that, but Lord Hari himself is pleased. Who is the enjoyer of the Yajna Hutabuk. So then he said that in this way, I have told you the story of the birth of the Marutas and the process of performing the vrata which he had asked. So jivati iti jiva sacha satatishvati avira tatiputra Sunyaya Praja Svajiv Sutta Dhaneshwari Chaturthi Ya Mayavi Sarvasishti Arujavi Muchate Indriya Sakalpam Samatranayam Buddha Sadhana Pushpa so that's not missing the commentary. It's giving the words. So this is the end of chapter number 6, Canto 6, chapter 19, where we describe the process of Punswan Vrata. It's very nice.
I have some
So is there
questions.
any question on this?
Yeah. This, I didn't understand very well. This kata, it's only for married people, for a couple, or anybody can?
Anybody can do it.
And it's not all lifelong, it's 1 year?
1 year.
Okay. And the same rules if you are in couple or not in couple, the same rule are followed?
Yeah, the process of worship is same. If one is not married, of course, there is no husband to be worshipped.
Yeah.
Right?
So you
So
worship
one job.
only God?
Yeah, one job less.
Yes.
Less tension.
And
But-
of course, you don't have help.
Then you say it would be good for the body, like nice, healthy, but I didn't hear that we must do exercise or only by worshipping
Only by worship.
and eating good,
Yeah.
only this.
No exercise, no treadmill.
Not?
No treadmill.
Treadmill.
Jogging. You can leave that to Vrinda. So even without that, you will get good body. Right?
And in all this book, are there also that we can live without eating,
Yes.
just to eat, just directly the energy?
Right. But you don't try it. That's not for you.
Babaji, I have a different question, not about this particular section.
Yes.
In Bhagavatam, there are many descriptions of the fighting scenes.
Fighting.
Fighting, yeah. And they repeat themselves in many places. So what's the meaning of it? Is it possible just to skip them?
You can skip anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see the point. Like, it's entertaining for people like this kind of entertainment.
Yeah, so
Otherwise,
So some people need entertainment also. It also describes the mentality of human beings. It's the idea that people, like we are reading Diti's story. And then Indra. So it is describing that this is how people are. So it's a study of human psychology. You see fighting in the society, isn't it? Sometimes physically, sometimes verbally, sometimes only planning in the mind. So that's understood.
what I mean by fighting, it's not plotting, not the story, but actually, description of the combat scene. So many shastras from this side, he cut this head, he cut that leg, I am talking about this description.
Yeah, so some people like to read that also. You see, this book is written on not only just for one type of people. Yesterday night we were reading. He said that there is the Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Jaganya or Kanishtadhikari. There are things for everybody. Because he said one of the way to describe Bhagavatam is that it is Surataru, it is a wishful feeling.
But again, it looks like it means if it's for everybody, and not everybody likes the same thing, so a particular person can just skip from
Yeah,
first to
basically.
first. Yeah, basically, yeah. Skip the sections that not for him.
We don't read that. There are other sections in 10th Canto, nice prayers of the Gopis, Gopi Geet, Venu Geet, Read them once. Any other question? So everybody understand the importance of Vrata? Yes.
Was this common to do? Like many people did that?
No.
No? Never.
No, it's never. Some did it, but it's not something which is very popular. When Parikshit was asking, I think she did not know.
But to do it, do you need to be accompanied, can we say, to be with a teacher or with a master or guru who will
Otherwise,
help
how will
you?
you do this puja? How will you do this worship, which is, you just told that you have to do achman, but you don't know how to do it. Right? Or how to do the arati, how to make the offering, this has to be learned from the teacher. That's why in the end he said that you give food to the teacher first. That means there is a teacher also. Right? So it has to be learned from the teacher.
And in this case, DT learned it from Kashyapa?
Kashyapa.
So you first learn and then perform vrata, or you start vrata with the teacher and learn during the... You learn before vrata or at the same time?
Of course, you learned it before. How will you do it without learning?
You can learn on the job.
But during this 1 year, you shouldn't be close from this guru to go and see him, to tell him how it goes, or just he teach you and then you do it for 1 year.
He teaches it and then you do it. If you have any question, you can ask. Or if you have a facility, you can live in his ashram and do it there. That's what Diti was doing. She was doing it in the ashram of Agastya Muni. Because one of the principles was not to have association with materialistic people. That's why when he said that, is it possible to do it in the West? I said, it's simple, but not easy.
This type of matters are only done because somebody has a desire, otherwise it's not.
I'm not recommending it. Chant Mahamantra.
But this is only a description of one type of vrata. There are maybe thousands different
Yeah, there are
vratas
many
of
types.
different durations, etc.
But do you do it once in your life, or you should repeat it like regularly?
That's up to you. Stop it.
Stop again.
After 5 minutes. You kept both on?
No, two.
Both on? So now this is the end of 6th canto. And we will start with 7th canto. And 7th canto starts with a very interesting topic. And topic is very important. It's like the beginning of 6th canto was also very nice about the importance of name in the story of Ajamila. Here also he will start with the story related with Shishupal. And it's very interesting discussion on the 5 terms of Bhakti. That Bhagavatam has said in the very beginning, it's about pure Bhakti. Dharma, Prochita, Kaita, Prakarma. So, there will be a discussion on that. So, I think we will start that tomorrow. I also didn't bring the commentary. Start with the other class. It's not So we start with the Nyaya, there is no need of break today.
Babaji, let's have a break 5 minutes at least.
5 minutes?
Yeah. So thank you.
I would like to, what does it mean, yagya?
Yajna is a ceremony where you lit fire, which is representation of God. God.
God.
And in the fire you pour certain oblations with chanting of mantras. That is called yajna.
Acharya.
Yajna.
Acharya.
Acharya is teacher.
Teacher. And Vagyata.
Controlling speech, keeping quiet. Can stop it.